Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for tuning in to Cullman Today. I'm your host, Cheyenne Sharp, and today is Tuesday, September 10th. We have a lot to look at in local news today, including information on Jones Chapel Community Day, Cullman Area Technology Academy Student Employees of the Month, and a head start on Halloween with the Trails of Terror. All this plus sports, weather, and more. But for now, let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. Congratulations to the Cullman Area Technology Academy Student Employees of the Month for September. We're thrilled to recognize Noah Laney and Jenna Raymond for their outstanding dedication and hard work. Noah is a senior at West Point High School and attends the Utility Line Worker program, and Jenna is a junior at Holly Pond High School and attends the Construction Technology program. Your commitment and enthusiasm has truly set you apart in your studies and programs, and we're grateful for all that you do. Keep up the fantastic work. Next up, after a long hiatus, Children's Storytime will return to the main branch of the Cullman County Public Library today. Every Tuesday, beginning at 10 a.m., children of all ages can visit the library and be transported faraway land with the magic of Storytime, hosted by local leaders and community members. To finish out our top stories, the small community of Jones Chapel and its fire department hosted its annual Community Day on Sunday, September 8th, to a crowd that lined the department's walls. The day of community-wide fun began at 2 p.m. on the grounds of the fire department with a community meeting to discuss the happenings, events, and issues that the department faces. The annual meeting creates an air of transparency for the department that is funded partially by the taxpayer dues from its coverage area. After the meeting, lunch was shared with the attendees, compliments of the department and neighboring fire department, Beth Sadie Volunteer Fire Department. Chief Mo Reynolds manned the grill for burgers and dogs that were handed out to the community, showing partnership and teamwork within the departments. Games, fun, and laugh were had by all as the department and surrounding organizations brought trucks and equipment for the younger attendees to explore, and a cakewalk and dunking booth raised nearly $400 for the department's Explorer Post. Now that we have the top stories out of the way, we're going to take a quick break before returning with sports.
What's in the magazine? October's peeking in. Oktoberfest in Cullman, let the fun begin. Heroes in our town, business all around. Recipes for sharing, joy everywhere found. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears. Community so bright, polka through the night. Sports spotlight today, kids come out to play. Fields and courts are buzzing in the autumn sway. Germans came to stay, crafts and brews on display. Cullman's heart is glowing in the polka way. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears. Community so bright, polka through the night.
Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to find out what's going on in the world of sports. In today's sports segment, let's take a look at three of our local teams' big wins from Friday night. The 8th annual Brandon Iron Bowl was hosted at Fairview this year, and the Aggies took on the West Point Warriors in the region opener for both teams. After a close few minutes in the opening period, Fairview quickly took command of the game and ended up pulling away to defeat West Point 48-13. Jake Harper finished with 159 yards on just 5 carries and 3 touchdowns, plus 3 sacks on defense. Carson Jones added 76 yards on the ground and a pair of scores, plus an interception. Colt Redding finished 8 out of 12 for 169 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Connor Scott added 3 receptions for 107 yards and a touchdown. Zayden Cruz posted 53 yards and a touchdown on 3 receptions. Jay Stevens finished with an interception, and Avery Latham added a sack in the win. Both teams will continue region play this week. Fairview will travel to Ardmore, and West Point will head back home to take on Lawrence County. After winning their season opener at West Point last week, the Good Hope Raiders were back home to host their region opener against Fultondale Friday night. Points were tough to come by in this one as both teams were held scoreless in the first half. A 20-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Cohn to Landon Bagwell broke the tie in the third quarter, and Robert Rodriguez knocked the extra point through the uprights to put the Raiders in front 7-0. Fultondale answered on the ensuing possession, driving the ball down the field and into the end zone, making it a 7-6 game with just over 4 minutes remaining in the third. However, the extra point sailed wide to the right, and Good Hope maintained a 1-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Both defenses continued to play well in the fourth, keeping both offenses out of the end zone, but in the final minutes of the period, the Raiders were able to drain the remaining time off the clock and end the game in a victory formation, improving to 2-0 with a 7-6 win over the Wildcats. Good Hope will be back on the road to play Haleyville Friday. Addison hosted region foe Shoals Christian at A.G. Hicks Stadium Friday night, and Addison dominated the Flame from start to finish, winning 51-0. Friday night's win was also the 100th for Addison's head coach, David Smothers. Coach Smothers now sports a 100-42 record in 13 years as the Bulldogs head coach. Addison will travel to Cherokee on Friday night. That covers sports for today, but make sure to check with the Cullman Tribune each day for the latest in sports coverage from across the area. We'll be back after this message. Hello and welcome back to Cullman Today. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. The Student Eagles of Cullman will host a benefit 5K run on September 28th for local Pregnancy Resource Center First Source for Women. The student organization is seeking one-day donations of pop-up tents, folding tables, and several large coolers. Any help will be greatly appreciated, and any donations should be directed to the Student Eagles Facebook page. Do you know an amazing local small business that provides personal services and care? Maybe it's your favorite hairstylist, massage therapist, nail salon, or fitness trainer. Let's give them the recognition they deserve. Fill out the form to nominate them for the Cullman Area Chamber of Commerce's Small Business of the Month for September. Visit cullmanchamber.org to nominate your favorite small business and get them the love and recognition that they deserve from the community. The Haunted Trails of Terror's 16th season will open on October 9th. This year is expected to be bigger and better, and the trails will be open every Wednesday through Saturday through November 2nd. A hayride will take guests into the attraction through the haunted woods and to the trails themselves. For interest and employment with the trails, contact Brian Hancock on Facebook. The Cullman County Fair is now offering its all-in-one passes for $25 at select People's Bank locations and at the fair office at the fairgrounds. The $25 price tag lends a 20% savings over admission and ticket costs. Last year, the passes sold out well before the fair started, so be sure to snag yours now. Now, for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this message. Welcome back. We're happy to say that there are no obituaries today. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today is set to be sunny with a high near 88. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of around 60. Tomorrow has a 20% chance of showers after 1 p.m., but partly sunny with a high near 83. And tomorrow night has showers likely mainly after 1 a.m., but mostly cloudy with a low of around 63. That concludes another edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. I'm Cheyenne Sharp with Cullman Today, wishing you a fantastic Tuesday, Cullman.